manifold off again, just because I need to get into the alternator. So I thought I'd take a chance just to try and compare the two manifolds side by side. A few characteristics. So you can see the manifold where it bolts onto the block. On that one, it is almost flush with the bottom of where it bolts on, and all of this plenum is above where it bolts on, compared to the original, which there is nothing above where it bolts on. Everything's below and very central in there. So that's why you can get the alternator in here. It's a bit tighter on that one, but also on the end got a huge amount of space compared to where we now have the throttle body as well, so coming a lot further over towards that battery that you saw in the last video. But also comparing the height away from the engine, it just sits so much further back in the engine bay and higher, hence cutting out the firewall behind it just to make space for it. Obviously, as mentioned with the welder, we'll get a firewall made up, get one in there, but yeah, just completely different between the two. So I'll crack this open at some point, show you inside as well. So underneath the manifold there's this beautiful access panel, and inside you can see the individual trumpets. Now originally I did purchase individual throttle bodies for this engine from the same car that the interior wiring loom came from. Did purchase them separate actually. Luckily the guy who was stripping the car down sold me the throttle bodies first and then contacted me about the wiring loom, so all worked out. But it's now the throttle bodies that I'm now not using. So yeah, but no, it's fascinating to see inside, at least, even if there's almost no need to. It's just a good opportunity to see the work that went into it. So rather than using one throttle body per cylinder, just got the one into the big intake plenum. One cool thing with the manifold, obviously, while you can see the Opel Performance Centre OPC branding on it, and also the Opel words, part numbers, all things that would obviously relate back to parts that were fitted to an original Super 1600 Corsa. I did message what were, I think, Swindon Engineering, now Swindon Powertrain, who originally built the engines for the Corsas. Those engines cost 25 grand to buy an engine from them, and needs regular rebuilding at a cost of thousands. So obviously I'm not going that far, but to have this on the car is a huge bonus. What power it will make for me, I don't know. Need to work out what injectors to go in as well. But he did confirm to me that going from their archives and the stamping on it, that it looks like it was from an original car. Can't confirm what one, but also that the throttle body looks original as well. So even just to have that confirmed to me, it gives me a huge boost to make that this makes the car even more special. Just to have something like this. I haven't seen another intake manifold this shape on a Corsa. A lot of them run a newer design where the throttle comes off at 45 degrees. I'll stick a picture up as well of that, because it is quite a bit of difference, but I'm not sure which manifold actually made more power though. This manifold hasn't been fitted to a car that I'm aware of the power figures, so it's unknown territory. And alternators out on the bench, as well as the manifold. And while they say size matters, bigger manifold is perfect. What we need is a smaller alternator, and I'm not sure I could have got much smaller than this. Actually designed for a Daihatsu. 60 amp alternator compared to a 90 amp Corsa standard one, and I may have even got very lucky with the mounts. Looking at it, the top mount, top mount on both of these looks almost the same distance. Probably not much in it. I'll turn the alternators over later, start comparing just to make sure. But you can see the size difference if I post a picture of the old one now. Yeah, you can see that there is a definite size difference in the engine bay. So let's get the manifold on like perfect. As you can see, fits nicely underneath the manifold. Have got some movement in there. So basically just need to decide where to mount the bracket, what to go around, where to route the bracket. Look at changing the pulley, because it's a 4-rib pulley on the alternator, 5-rib on the crank pulley. So if I can change that to the 5 from the original alternator, magic. But yeah, manifold actually fully in this time rather than resting on bits it shouldn't have. As you can see, extremely tight down the back, and even more so because right down there, can't even see it, is the heater hoses. Manifold actually rests on the heater hoses, so yeah, we'll find some solution. But wiring mess, as like I said before, 2 systems running next to each other never works perfectly. But yeah, it's looking really good. So for a couple of days of fiddling about with it in the evenings, there's quite a bit of progress. We know the manifold still goes on, but we've got an alternator that works with it. Just need to fix that into place. Also, a few little other pieces around the manifold have worked out as well. So all in all, quite good. And it does look bloody nice under there. Get it all sorted. Just another bit in the... Yeah, another piece of the puzzle. That was it.